What's up, guys? Gerardo here. Today we just got a quick life hack. It's changing your assumption so that you change your outcome. So a lot of times we assume certain things based upon the kind of random ideas inside our minds, and then we make certain assumptions based upon what an event or an outcome is going to be, depending on just kind of random ideas or just subconscious data just shooting in our minds. So we have a lot of assumptions kind of happening all at one time, but the key thing is that we want to control the assumptions. So for example, let's say you're a public speaker. Instead of assuming that the audience is going to like boo you or is going to reject what you're saying or not like what you're saying, you could also just assume that they are going to like what you are saying. And what this does is that, one, it controls your nervous system. It controls your mind and body system. Because if you're assuming that they're going to reject you, what this does is that it forces your mind and body system to kind of retreat and to kind of like clamp up. And what this does is that it puts you more in a fear state. So what you want to do is you want to start thinking in terms of the outcome that you do desire. So again, let's bring it back to the public speaking. Let's say you're a public speaker and you're talking in front of millions of people. You want to see them clapping in your mind. You want to see them clapping, you want to see them smiling, you want to see them happy. You want to see something positive, something's positive. What this does is that it uplifts your state, it uplifts your flow, it makes you in a better mood, in a better state. It's just a positive spiral forward. It's a numerous different positive things it does. But basically, it just puts you in that kind of positive flow because now you're expecting the positive. Also, what this does do is that it increases your motivation to want to perform that task. And this one's very big because we have a cost and benefit analysis for everything. If the cost is too high, we won't take action, or it will be least likely to take action. If the benefit is too small, we won't take action. If the benefit is high, we will take action. So ideally, in our minds, we think that the cost is small and the benefit is high, then we instantly take action. And that's the ideal scenario there, is where whatever task or whatever you're doing is costing you very little, but the reward is very high. So we sort of want to trick ourselves into thinking that what we're getting out of it is bigger than what it really is. Even if you have to trick yourself, even if you have to lie to yourself, and this works because it tricks the mind and body system into thinking that there's a bigger reward than what it really is. And by doing so, you will make it easier to take action for yourself, and you will also prevent and minimize any sort of kind of fear problems, fear blockages that might occur in that moment. So that's why it's very important to just assume the positive. Assume the positive. So instead of the negative of they're booing you, they're rejecting you, you're assuming that they are giving you a clap, they're happy, they're smiling. And what this does is that it brings your state up so that you're more likely to get the desired result that you want. So that there's that famous saying, what the thinker thinks, the prover proves. And this is very, very, very true. Extremely true. Because when you're thinking in the negative and you get a negative response, well, it's like, well, you thought in the negative and then you got a negative response, so then you proved it to yourself. And then by thinking in terms of positive, when you think positive and you get a positive response, then you prove it to yourself. So that's how it works. Is to think positive, get a positive response. Now, in the beginning, it's a little harder because sometimes I guess you could say our mind and body system is not quite there yet, so we need a little bit of training. And then as we get better and more refined in this sort of process, it's guaranteed to work. But in the beginning steps, it's a little difficult because our mind and body system is not quite there yet. It's still not. It still don't know it's operating on a very scared, pretty much in defense mode. It's afraid. So it needs to be trained to expect better rewards per action that it's doing. So let's just sum it up real quick. You want to change the assumption. You want to create an image in your mind of the desired outcome. So instead of a negative response, you think of them as clapping, happy, or whatever. Or maybe hallucinate in your mind that they are giving you positive compliments based upon the action you're doing. And you do this in real time this way that it can bring your state up. And you also control the fear-based issues that occur when you're thinking in terms of the negative. That's all for me today. If you want more tips and tricks for success, visit me at prosperitylifehack.com. Thank you so much for watching.